Bita,
Hi.
welcome to our studio, to our
Thank
offices,
you.
and we make this program possible for people who actually just moved to Canada or about to move to Canada, and we definitely pick successful people from, let's say, first-generation immigrants,
Right.
because this is a special breed. People coming from all over the world, and they have something unique
Of course.
in their experience. And that's why we have this program. We want people to share that experience with others and make sure they're not afraid. Let's talk about you for a bit, okay?
Always about
So,
me.
yeah, well, you're beautiful, young, athletic, absolutely successful. So,
Thank you.
let me start with asking you about the major transition in your life. I believe it was from Iran to Canada. So you moved from Tehran directly, right?
Tehran directly.
And it was
a
what
long
year?
time ago.
A long time ago.
1999.
1999. Okay. It's similar when I moved here. So I remember Canada was different. What's your impression?
Completely different.
How different?
Oh my goodness, it was more of a village looking.
Uh-huh.
Now there's all these beautiful towers
Right.
and
Right.
more people, lots of more Persian people.
Oh yeah, we see it's kind of spreading from North Vancouver into downtown.
Oh
and
yeah,
now
Burnaby and
Burnaby,
Coquitlam. Oh yeah, we're
Yes,
taking
yes.
over slowly.
It's a great thing. When you moved, 99, I would say you're what, like 1 year old?
Possibly 10.
Possibly 10. Okay, so you were in your teenage years.
In my
Okay, good.
teenage
In
years.
your teenage. Okay, go. Good. So teenage is a very difficult age to relocate,
Oh yes.
and I'm sure you have plenty of new experiences.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to share some that shock you, or what we call cultural shock or personal shock? Of course, your discretion.
All right.
Okay.
Prepare yourself.
Okay, I'm ready.
No, at first, because coming from Iran, everyone's, all the schools are separate. Girls are separate, boys are separate.
Yeah.
Activities, everything is separate, but where we're together, it's where with the family, with the friends. And
Right.
so when I came in, I used to be a swimmer,
Uh-huh.
big time, hardcore
Okay.
swimmer. And first time I wanted to go out for tryouts for swimming, it was all the boys and all the girls. And I was
course.
like, what am I have to be in a bathing suit with
Yeah.
all the boys and they're
Yes.
going to be watching me. That one was quite a bit of a shock, and it took
Right.
me a minute of me just warming up to the idea. I didn't want to do it, but
Okay.
finally I was like, you know what? I'm in a different world.
Yes.
Let's try it. I did, and it was fun. And long story short,
You broke some hearts.
I did. But it was good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I became a national swimmer and yada, 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 back in the history.
Good.
But, there's a lot of different cultural differences.
Right.
And I experienced that quite a bit because having strict parents and because not that they wanted to be strict, but because that's how they were raised,
that's how it was,
and
of course,
they
yeah.
thought that they were doing the best for me. But
Of course. And they did.
and they did,
Yeah.
and they did
Yeah.
to the best of their knowledge,
Yes.
what they knew and of their capability, and they
That's true.
raised up me and my brother to who I am, the woman I am today, and I'm grateful for them bringing us here. There are funny stories too that.
Oh, tell us something. I mean,
No, it's a funny story for a teenager. At that point, it's not funny, but to me right now, it is quite funny.
Okay.
In high school, we had a sex ed class,
okay.
and
Oh,
they were
yeah.
teaching us how to be protective and using protection. And at the end of the class, the thing goes, and we're all out, and they're handing out one kid at a time. Here's your protection. Here's your protection. And I got to one, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this right now? And it's like, my mom is picking me up.
Okay.
I have this in my hand. I don't want to throw it out because the kids are gonna make fun of me.
course.
So I just put it in my little booklet that I had. While I'm walking out of the class and school, my mom's parked outside. Didn't know she's watching me. Sat in the
Okay.
car, and she's like, what did you just put in your bag? Little agenda. I'm like, nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
She's like, open it up. I'm like, no. She's like, open it up. I'm like, no. She lost it finding out that they had handed. She went back to my class and she's like, what were you guys thinking? They're like, well, that's how we teach.
Yeah.
For them to be protected, you know? And this, you know, they never taught that.
Yeah.
They were never taught that.
Yeah.
She could have never imagined having that taught to her in class, you know, with all the other boys, all the other girls, and they were making fun of it during the class. They were having fun, but me stressing and sweating.
Yeah. Oh,
so, you know, that's a cultural change for a teenager.
People. Yeah. Because
it's not fun.
I just recently talked to someone who asked me about the percentage of population in terms of religion and cultural background, how many people, what percentage we have in terms of clientele. I was surprised myself. We had like probably 60% of Muslims, and then we're talking about Catholics from Latin America, from Europe. We're talking about different categories of very restricted rules, and those rules for kids, for people, not to restrain them, but basically keep them, I guess, honest and clean and poor and grow without, let's say, influence of the society in a bad way. So that is part of it, but I experienced that emotion from parents so many times. It just ring my bell all the time when I hear stories. But you were inside. You were the person who actually had to deliver that message to parents.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, your parents eventually adapted to this reality here?
Well, they had no choice. You know,
Wow, that's a good
they had no
approach,
choice because they're coming from a different perspective of life to a different perspective. They're bringing their kids for a better life. They're bringing their kids for freedom.
I guess for people who bring kids, if we go to our clients or people who watch it, actually, audience, they have kids, and what you just said probably would be a good advice for them. Don't be too hard, and let kids to experience some freedom.
Exactly.
And learning curve is very fast if you don't if you're not trying to hold it.
Yes.
It just go fast, unless you just try to break and explain to the kid that you're doing right or doing wrong. Okay, well, that's interesting experience, definitely shocking. You move here. Don't you find this cuisine or whatever as dull and kind of unexciting?
Compared to Iran?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, compared to Iran, 100%.
Okay.
However, compared to 20-some years ago, right now, it has changed so much. Back in the day, we were like, where should we get bread? When we moved here, we brought rice with us. We brought we brought everything because there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing here. And so we're like, right now, I'm like, you can find everything and anything that is possibly there in Iran. Maybe even better.
Maybe even better because of quality control and desire of people to serve better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and it's hard to fool Persian, right?
And I cook myself, so...
Oh, I love to cook too, so we can share a recipe.
I would love that.
Do you feel any regrets about moving here?
Not even a doubt that my parents made the right decision to bring us here. You know, I feel so blessed.
Yes.
I'm so grateful, especially to my mom.
Yeah.
Because she was the one that had to stay here. She worked back in Iran when she was younger, but when she had us, she was focused on us. Raising us. But when she came here, because she didn't want my dad to work because he was a musician, so she did everything. She took care of us. She took care of the making money part of it, you know, making us feel that we're still in that same home, you know. So I'm grateful that I'm here. I don't know how it would have been if I was back in Iran. But I definitely wouldn't have had the freedom to do and experience so many different areas of career because I've done a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, tell us something about that.
Oh.
No, whatever you feel comfortable. Like if I say, what do you do? What is your primary interest in life now?
So right now I'm in the dental field. I do management treatment coordinating. However, I have my own podcast that's called Chat It Up. I bring dentists, people that are in the dentistry that need a little bit of a spotlight to be known, because there's so many people out there, you know.
They know.
Exactly.
They know nothing about promotion.
Exactly.
They know how to do this
Do
stuff.
teeth. We'll let them do the teeth. I help them with the promotion.
Exactly. It's like in my business, sometimes I joke when people asking about financial help or some loans, and I pick up this joke somewhere. I don't remember, but the joke is, I think it's priceless. I had this saying, we have agreement with the bank.
Okay.
They don't provide immigration service. We don't provide loans. Sorry. And I think it's basically for everyone, because I respect professionals, but that's why they need to hire other professionals to do the job for them.
100%.
Okay, many people, what we observe, moving here, even though they were quite successful back home, and by the way, back home is very interesting term, because let's say Iranian from Tehran working in London, UK, is he home? What is his home? Is it UK or Iran? So, which is very vague term by itself. But let's say somebody coming here, achieve something in life, for some reason, maybe it's immigration curse, maybe people falling under this, what we call common pressure of relocation and new life and desire to achieve something right away. But many people succumb to this enormous pressure of new life, and they I'm not saying neglect themselves, but putting themselves in the inferior position and saying, no. It's almost like they pronounce to the world, and message is quite transparent, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. I want to be at the earlier stage and I will grow up eventually. Many of them, if they overcome that fear, if they open themselves up to opportunities, they find success right away.
Oh, right away.
So working in a community or opening yourself to the world, which one is your way?
I always say you have to try. If you don't try, you never know. If you don't jump in the water, you don't know if you're going to sink or swim.
And advice from swimmer coming on time.
Good. You know,
it makes sense.
And you're going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to hear, are you sure? Can you do it? It's going to be taking a lot of time. Do you have the money for it? You know, there is a lot of negative thoughts behind it.
Right.
But it's how you choose to listen to it. You know, do you listen to it and take that negative, or do you turn it around? Do you see the silver lining in between?
Yeah.
I came here from another country. I moved. I got up and I moved to a different country, different lifestyle, different everything. And am I going to give up of where I am now, or are you going to push yourself further out? You know, are you going to try to succeed to the person that you potentially want to be? And when you get there, are you going to be like, okay, I'm done? Or are you going to seek more?
And it's surprising, people talking about Canadians, majority of Canadians not having enough savings, not having enough retirement funds and whatnot. I was shocked when I first actually tried to absorb those numbers, but basically it's a very minor amount of first-generation immigrants who actually complain about that. They fight, they struggle, maybe, it's normal, but they're trying to do the best in what they can do. And then they try it, like you said, I like that very much. Because when people don't try, the regret of not trying is probably much worse than failure. So, okay, we work with, technically you're not limiting yourself to Farsi-speaking community.
Oh, no, not at all. And that was the whole point. Like when I first started, let's just say my podcast, I said, I'm not going to bring people that only speak Farsi in there, because we're in Canada, we speak English. And why would I limit myself
Yeah.
to that? I work alongside. My boss is from Lebanon, and I have clients from, I don't know, London, Japan,
Yeah.
Tokyo, from Canada.
Yeah.
It's a very versatile world.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, even if I was in Iran, I'm sure there are other people with different languages there. So,
Yeah.
why would I limit myself when I could do a universal thing?
So natural curiosity is probably your thing.
Yes.
You're open to the world. That's
100%.
great. That's great. We know a little bit about you by now. You're the athlete. You're great cook. And you're also a mom, eh? And that's a demanding job, I guess.
It's a full-time job.
Full-time job. Okay. So you juggle 2-3 jobs, and you enjoying being a mom?
I love it. I love
love
it,
it?
Alex. It's just,
Okay.
honestly, he's the sunshine of my life. I don't want to sound cliche, but I've had very, very rough days, and as soon as he gives me a hug or a kiss, it's like everything
matter.
else is just,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Everything else melts away,
Exactly.
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 And he's my responsibility,
Oh, yeah.
and
That's actually true.
raising him to the best of my capability,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be my success story.
Oh, well.
Alongside of my everything else.
Very interesting approach and angle.
Yeah.
Okay. You travel a lot?
Not quite as much as I want to, because I work.
And your
And
mom?
I'm a mom, and I live in Vancouver, and everything is expensive, so I have to
Yeah.
plan for everything.
Yeah,
But
that's-
I do travel. Okay. And
If God gives you option to go urban or rural, like outdoor, what would you prefer?
if I were to travel, I would go to Paris first, and just
To take
shop a
what?
lot.
Shop, okay, good.
Shop a lot, because the Vancouver fashion.
Yeah.
It's getting better with
Yeah.
all these amazing designers
Yes.
coming to town,
Yeah.
and thank you to them. Please have more options for us.
Right.
But honestly, it needs to get better.
So
you know,
in your mind, Paris is still the capital of fashion?
for
More
now.
or less.
For now.
For now,
We'll
yeah.
see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see, because, cultural degrade is enormous there. I
Yes.
feel sorry, because that city deserves better.
Oh,
And,
100%.
interesting. Okay, good. So you travel. Do you like outdoor?
I love outdoors.
Okay.
I love outdoors.
Mountains, oceans.
Mountains, but oceans first.
Oceans first.
I'm a swimmer. You gotta remember.
Okay.
I'm a summer girl. Wasn't born in the summer, but
are you
I'm a
going,
summer girl.
polar bear swim?
I do the polar bear swim. The last time I did it was before I was married,
Uh-huh.
because my husband's like, just sleep in, it's okay.
Okay.
But I've done it a couple of times.
Okay.
I like to go swimming, but I love snowboarding too.
Oh,
So
great.
Snow is coming.
Snow is coming.
It's
and this
coming,
is,
yeah.
Actually, I drove by and I saw some tops already in snow.
I know.
So it's coming. It's
yeah,
coming
we're
this
excited
year.
for the snow. to
So
come.
you spent most of the time in Vancouver in area?
Yes.
I assume busy?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. Interesting. So in terms of, again, coming
Mm-hmm.
back to the idea of this show, what
Mm-hmm.
we have for people who would like to move to Canada or just move to Canada,
Mm-hmm.
addressing their fears. We already touched base on one, which is fear of unknown. What else you think when you talk to people, when you see, and can you see the person who just moved and who moved quite a while ago?
Yes.
What would be the striking difference?
Honestly, we were just talking about it with my husband a couple of
Uh-huh.
nights ago, actually. It's
Uh-huh.
a great question. People that moved back when I moved back, I moved
Right.
to Canada when I was younger, there was less information out there. There was no internet.
That's
you got to
true.
know that. And people would come in very blindfolded. They didn't know where to start. They didn't know where to go. But now we have the beautiful internet and Mr. Google, they help us finding things. And I have people that have moved from Iran, let's say, or from London, or from the US, anywhere in the world, they already have jobs. They already know the streets better than I do. They know the restaurants better than I do. And I've lived here. I'm like, how is this even possible that you have that much knowledge and you just moved here last week?
Yeah.
It's, yes, they're more eager. and they have more information out there provided for them before they even have stepped
Don't you
foot in
think
this.
it creates some kind of sense of arrogance against locals?
Oh, for sure.
They-
It's not.
It's very interesting
Yeah.
balancing act, right? Because it looks like they know a lot,
Yeah.
but you cannot actually say you know the city until you walk all the streets yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
my
And
view.
it's the fear in them too, though.
Yeah, actually, yes, it's a kind of layer of protection.
Exactly. It's like, I was here
a little
first.
cocky. I was here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was here first. I should know this. Why do you know this?
Yeah.
This is my city. This
Yeah.
is why this is the debate is going,
Yeah.
the old and the new, the immigrants. I always say the old have to teach the new.
Right.
The new have to teach the old. We all learning from each other. Every day is a learning curve for all of us.
Right,
So.
right. Interesting observation you just brought up. We're talking about people who moved here and moving. Let's play it out. You in Paris, because so far it looks like your favorite city if we go to Europe first. Okay, good. You in Paris, having this nice cappuccino and croissant in the morning. Nothing hurts your figure, so that's fine. And you enjoying it, and you actually meeting, oh my God, voila, your classmate you met a few years back, and you last saw in school, but you recognize somehow. Okay, this scenario leads to your conversation, where you are, and you in Canada, and oh my God, she's saying that she's moving to Canada with her family, her young child and husband, in the next few months. Papers already done, lawyers did a great job, but they shaken, and you say, honey, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm afraid. What is there, and how to prepare myself? What would you tell her? Tell us that kind of conversation.
Honestly, I would just say, first of all, take a deep breath. It's not as scary as you think it is.
Okay.
Come in as a tourist. Enjoy the city first. And go around, take your family, enjoy it. Depending, I say, don't come in November. Don't come in November because
Just
it's
fair.
raining. November, December. December is better, but November, don't do it. Do yourself a favor.
I call it when you're in the orchard, you have to water it sometimes. So yeah, we have beautiful blooming nature.
Exactly.
We need water sometimes.
You
yeah.
do. So don't
Okay.
come in the watering phase of
Okay.
it. Come in when you can enjoy the outdoors. Christmas time onwards,
Absolutely.
come in.
Yeah.
Come and enjoy it. Because once you get into the system and start working and start looking, don't rush into things. I always
Okay.
say it, go and enjoy being in a new city, because once you're in the system, you don't have the luxury of that free time anymore.
That's true, and so much to see.
So much to see.
Actually, it's kind of funny you mentioned that to enjoy first and plan and don't rush into this, because sometimes, like today, I had a conversation with the gentleman who landed, and his family already kind of looking for a shop, where to shop for food and this and that. And I said, it looks like you're in a hurry to, I have to do this and that. I said, why don't you just drive around? And you have some time, you rented certain space. Yes, you have to find certain areas for future relocation inside Vancouver area, but enjoy the nature.
Exactly.
And on the other hand, I don't know if you would approve that, but what we have, when people come in, to become citizen, they have to spend like 3 years inside Canada, collect those 1,095
That's
days.
right.
Good. What I tell them, listen, why don't you, instead of going somewhere for the first 3 years, treat it as an opportunity to explore Canada.
Oh, for sure.
And Canada is such a huge country.
Just
and
BC itself.
BC itself.
Oh.
During COVID, actually, we discovered so many little things because we didn't travel overseas. We got stuck here, and we discovered so many little villages, towns, and islands, and waterfalls and lakes,
Yes.
and it was absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I advise them to stay
Oh, for
inside
sure.
the country, enjoy travel locally, and 3 years will fly by very fast.
100%.
And then you can travel the world because you have passport and you have freedom. Yeah, that's interesting. So your advice would be Don't rush into things.
Exactly. Enjoy
Sit,
life.
Enjoy
Enjoy your mood.
observe.
Exactly.
Would that be fair assessment of your personality? You're a very curious person.
I am.
You open to opportunities all
Yes,
the time.
I am.
Fantastic.
Yes,
I
I
got
am.
that.
You read
Okay.
that right.
Well, I guess that's fine. I'm doing this for over 30 years. Okay. I just enjoy talking to you. And that's a
Same here.
very nice place to stop and say
Thank you so
thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
having me
very
here. I
much.
really appreciate your
Thank you.
time. I do.